In this video, I'm going to be going over 10 more easy siege tips to instantly play better. If you didn't see my last video on this topic, that's popping up in the top right. But without further ado, let's get into the first tip, which is going to be how to one-hit barricades. So normally when you're going to go through a barricade, the fastest way to break it down is to two-hit it and then vault through it. But there's actually a way to basically one-hit the barricade. So as you can see, when you walk up to the barricade, it's separated by these little boards. All you have to do is find one of the boards and go to the middle of the board, and then you just want to move it over towards the middle of the actual barricade. So if you were looking at it from this side, you would go to about like right here. If you're looking at it from the left side, you go to about right here. So as you can see, that's where my crosshair is lined up, and then you want to punch the barricade. So as you can see, it's going to create a big opening, and then all you would have to do is shoot a little portion out like that, and then you can vault through it. It's definitely faster than any other method, and once you get it down, it's super easy. You can quickly just vault through the barricade in basically no time. So the next tip I'll be going over is pocketing utility. Now let's say I'm playing Fenrir. I have 4 mines to throw down. Now a lot of people, they'll throw their mines down wherever they're going to throw them down, so they'll throw down all 4 of them at the beginning of the round. Now the problem with this, especially with Fenrir, is there's not a guaranteed chance anyone is going to be affected by this Fenrir mine. Let's say that they don't push atatck at all. Now my Fenrir is sitting here and it's not doing anything when I could throw it somewhere else and it could be more effective. So let's say you pocket one of your Fenrirs and okay, they're not pushing atatck, so I definitely don't need this one atatck, but they are pushing the main wall, so I can just throw one like this. So if anyone, tries to go for a default plan or they try to push in, they're going to get hit by the Fenrir. You can do this with a lot of utility like alibi clones, proximity alarm, Fenrir mines like I just said. There's a lot of different utility that you can use more effective if you actually pocket the utility. So the next tip I'm going to be going over is all about how to place your claymore so they're harder to see and they're more efficient at getting kills. So first things first, let's say you're trying to place down your claymore to prevent runouts. A lot of people, you'll see that they'll place their claymore so that it's more facing the wall so that either 1 or 2 of the lasers are exposed instead of 3. Now that's good, but what a lot of people don't know that you can do with claymores, if you just place it straight up, if a defender's on the other side and they try to go for a runout, as soon as they break down the barricade, they're going to get hit by the claymore and they're going to blow up. Versus if I place it over here to the side like this, as you can see, as a defender, I could crouch around it, go around and shoot it, and I still wouldn't be hit by the lasers. But let's say that you're placing claymores for watching flank. Now let's say I was attacking this portion of the map and I thought I was going to get flanked by this doorway. In this situation, it's actually better to place your claymores like this because they're going to be more inconspicuous. Now you can have 2 lasers showing and it's going to be a little bit more inconspicuous, but in this situation, it's still pretty obvious. But with this claymore, it's guaranteeing that they're going to have to shoot it to make some sort of noise. And if you actually place it a little bit more facing the wall like this, so now as you can see, only 1 laser is showing, it's even more inconspicuous. But what you have to realize is a 3-speed, if they hold their pistol out, can run through this and it won't kill them. But I'd say most of the time the person flanking you isn't even going to know that, and if they do, it puts them in a vulnerable position if they're running through it like this, and you'll probably still hear them, by the way. But that's 2 of the best ways to place your claymores to prevent runouts and to stop people from flanking you. So the next tip I'm going to be going over is called Flores drone baiting. So basically all you want to do a Flores drone bait is, let's say I'm attacking from this window, right? And there's a defender outside that door, and basically you're just taking this gunfight. You can't really get them off the angle. They're just putting pressure onto you. All you have to do is you want to go onto your Flores drone, and let's say for this example, I jump it through this window and then I jump my drone like this. Now what they're going to be doing is either running away from the drone or trying to shoot it, and you can take the opportunity to actually push up on them. Now this was just one example. This isn't the best example that you can do this in, but basically you're using the Flores drone to distract your enemy, because think about it. If I'm trying to stop someone from entering this window and I see a Flores drone on my foot, I either have to run or I have to shoot it before it gets there, and when they're doing that, you can obviously go for the kill on them or just take the opportunity to try to take the map control. And also keep in mind, when you do this, you can actually just press circle or escape or whatever, and you'll get off of it and it continues to drive. So they might look down to shoot it, and that'll also give you an even better opportunity, because when you go into the Flores drone and you press circle, as you can see, the drone's still driving and I'm up. So it gives you more time to actually take the gunfight to the person rather than you jumping it to them when it's 1 second away from it exploding. Alright, so the next tip I'm going to be going over is confidence. And specifically what I want to talk about is why confidence is so important in Siege and why it's so important in your aim. So when you're playing Siege, and especially if you're in some sort of solo queue environment, you basically don't know what your teammates are going to do. You don't know what they're going to say. They could message you, whatever. You have some sort of pressure on you compared to if you're just playing with your friends or something like that. And if you don't know, the human brain does not perform well under pressure in 99% of instances. So basically, if you want to play better, you have to have confidence to remove some of that pressure that's put onto yourself. And the main thing that this is going to help is actually your aim and basically just taking gunfights. But yeah, you could take in a bunch of tips, but if you can't focus and actually apply those tips in game, then it's going to be all for nothing. So that's where your confidence comes into play. And if you're feeling unconfident or you feel like you have some sort of pressure while you're playing the game, you can mute the text chat if you're on PC, you can mute messages if you're on console, you can mute game chat. Just make sure your teammates don't put any pressure on you and just play the game. Don't be scared to do anything, because at the end of the day, you're going to be improving every single time you die as long as you have the right mindset and you want to have an improvement mindset. So if you are struggling, turn off game chat, turn off whatever, and play with some confidence and see if it actually helps you. Alright, so the next tip I'm going to be going over is giving you some positioning tips for when you're defending. So the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to positioning is a common mistake I'll see a lot of people doing is basically they sit on the last cleared angle. So what I mean by that is basically, let's say I was attacking from trophy door, right? As an attacker, the angles that I'm going to be clearing first are attic door, then I would go to this angle right here, then you would go to bunks, maybe this angle, head holes right there, and then the last you would get to is right here. So basically, if you're in this position and you're the last alive, if it's a 1v1 and you're in this position, think about it as the attacker. Okay, I clear this angle, I clear this angle, I clear this angle, I clear this angle. The only angle that I have to worry about is that they're tucked in this corner now. So all I have to do is swing. You can even pre-fire. It's going to increase your odds of winning that gunfight as the attacker. So it's much better to actually hold a more aggressive angle in this situation. You never want to sit on the last cleared angle if it's ever a 1v1 situation, or if you're in a situation where your teammates cannot help you. And if you do find yourself in this corner stuck like this, it's actually better to swing the enemy, because then it's more of an even gunfight rather than finding you in the corner, pre-firing you in the corner with peeker's advantage. You're going to lose this gunfight most of the time. So actually bring the fight to them if you realize, okay, they're going to clear this angle last and they're probably going to kill me. Alright, so the next trick that I'm going to be showing you is how to impact trick this wall here on Oregon. So all you have to do is go up to the wall, you want to break a hole in the floor right here, and as you can see this lamp that's on the floor below. And so let's say the attackers throw down their ace charges on the wall, and you don't have a bandit or a Kate or anything like that. All you have to do is you want to get your impact out, you want to line it up like this, and then you want to throw it right there. Now, as you can see, it's going to go to the other side, which is going to in turn destroy the aces on the wall. Another thing that you can do is you can actually place a Goyo right here like this. Make sure you place the Goyo facing the door so they can't easily destroy it. So now what you can do is you actually kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So when I throw it at the lamp like this, as you're going to see, it's going to start the fire on the other side, basically delaying the attackers from entering this closet area. So you're going to impact trick the wall while also deploying fire throughout the whole place. So if it's a thermite, they're going to get burned up by this fire. If it's an ace, you're still going to destroy the aces on the wall while also delaying them for 20 seconds. Alright, so the next tip that I'm going to be going over is understanding the importance of having a teammate to drone you in and understanding how to actually follow your teammates' drones. So let's say I was trying to enter secret and I was trying to go through lounge and, attack whatever bomb site I'm attacking. And let's say my teammates on their drone and they drone down blue. Okay, no one's down blue. And they go through secret door. At this point, you should be following your teammate's drone, because think about it. You know this area is clear, so you cannot die from there. And you know that your drone is going to be spotting anyone that's over here. So if they are here, what you're doing by taking the map control early is I can basically bring the fight to them faster. Now let's think of it the other way. If I don't jump in this window and I just sit here holding an angle that's basically doing nothing, my teammate's going to spot an enemy, then I have to jump in. They probably hear me jump in. I try to go take a gunfight. I probably die. And another really good tip is, let's say my teammate's drone goes this way, right? And he detects no one's over here, and then he comes back over here and he detects no one's over here. Now think about where your teammate has not droned yet is top red, right? So what I can do is position my crosshair top red, so the one spot that the drone hasn't gone, I don't know if there's an enemy there, so I can just hold my crosshair there, and so if anybody does actually swing, you can go for the kill on them. So you always want to place your crosshair where your teammates have not droned yet. Alright, so the next tip that I'm going to be going over is how to place your frost mats a lot better when you're placing them on staircases. So normally when people place down their frost mats, they usually place them under windows, which is very common, and a lot of people will pre-fire this when they jump in the window. So some really good frost mats that you can place down that are really unexpected are actually just placing them on staircases like this. Now this kind of looks like it's right out in the open because it's just in the middle of the staircase. But think of it from an attacker's POV. Okay, I see no one's on the staircase, so the only place that they can actually kill me from is on the top of the staircase. So that's where the attacker places their crosshair, they're walking up the staircase, boom, they hit the frost mat. The reason why I'm showing you this on Villa is because there's another good one right here. You can place it on main. But this is just one example. You can do this on so many different maps, so many different sites and staircases, and it's going to work out well because it's so unexpected. Because people are too used to seeing frost mats on shields and under windows that they usually end up pre-firing them, but this one, most of the time people are not going to be able to see this. So the next tip that I'm going to be going over is to go on cams before the round starts when you're roaming. Now what this is going to help you with is basically you can see where the enemies are going to spawn, and if they don't shoot the default cams, you can kind of see where they're going to start their push from. So basically you're getting a better understanding of which operators they're going to use, how they're going to use them based off of where they're going. Also, another thing that you can see is, let's say you go into a cam and you see a certain cam is broken. Okay, you know that there's going to be someone in this area. So if I see that the 90 cam is shot, okay, boom, first thing, I know that someone's in 90 or in this general area at the moment. So if you have trouble roaming and you don't know exactly what to do when you're roaming, make sure you're checking the default cams at the beginning of the round to get an idea of what the attacker's push is. If you feel you improved from this video or you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing, and if you want to watch more of my content, then click the video popping up on your screen.